We kick things off right here in Lagos, where we are. Lagos State government said it's planning to phase out classification of electricity customers, the band A, B, C's, D's, and so on and so forth. There's a quote from Biodun Ogunleye, who is the Lagos State Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, in a briefing with journalists. He said, part of what we're trying to enable is an environment that eliminates banding. Banding says that you have 3, 8, 12, or 21 hours of electricity. The governor, referring to Governor Sanwo-Olu, Executive Governor of Lagos State, has thrown the challenge, and then he asks, is it impossible to have 24-hour power supply? I strongly believe that we can do it, and that's where we're going to kick things off with Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu, who has frequently talked about power on the show. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Hi, Rotis. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
These days, I don't know when you're in Nigeria, when you're,
it's the work.
Kigali.
As a fellow traveling man yourself, you know how it is.
Now, power.
Yeah.
I've said several times, the other day I said that any candidate that solves the problem of power for us,
they can stay in office forever.
It doesn't have to. The term limits will not apply to the person.
Yeah.
But talking seriously, I also said that we know that we're chasing a 1 trillion economy.
Right.
Otis, we don't need to go to any country to support us on this. If we can get power right in our country, the 1 trillion economy will be a piece of cake.
Right.
Now, let's see. Remember the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Nigerian exports are very not competitive.
Right.
If you look at the production system of Nigerian companies, most of the cost, about 40% of the cost, is power. Power. Look at the December thing. A lot of the hotels, half of their cost is power. People that come more into Nigeria. So power is a major issue.
Yeah.
Now, let's be honest. I've attacked this band system several times here.
Yes.
It didn't just come because government enjoyed it. It came because there was not enough electricity to go around. So it was a way of sharing poverty.
Right.
So the regulator basically said that since there's scarcity, let those who are willing to get more, pay for more. That's basically what it was. And it's similar to every other thing, But the issue with things like that is this, that if you are in a massive function where the food is not enough, the kitchen is not producing enough, change the plates, change the seating arrangement in the tables, create a VIP session. The food will never be.
That's a lovely analogy.
No.
Yeah, right.
And let me make you laugh a little. When I talk about this band thing, it reminds me of the family that I came out from. And the issue was that, not socially well to do. So things like meat was essential commodity.
Yeah.
And so when they cooked that time, there were 6 of us, and the father would just say something like, and say, I think you're intelligent. Maybe you need to eat more meat.
So
these are mental arithmetic. You don't know maths a lot.
So less meat for you.
Yeah. So it's like the Nigerian power system therefore became sort of people who are flying business class of electricity, while some people were sharing an economy of darkness.
Right.
So the Lagos State coming out therefore to come and say they want to let the challenge or the objective not being how to share poverty, but how can we get more supply, which is actually the solution.
Yeah.
And so that more can go around and everybody can have 21 to 24 hours of light.
Yeah.
That's basically the objective. But comment on that, is it workable? Is it doable? I've actually been thinking since that why hasn't Lagos done this all this while?
Right.
Seeing the potential. Look at the statistics. Depending on where you look at, they tell you that the Lagos demand is about 9,000 to 12,000 megawatts of electricity.
That's large. Yeah.
And what we get now is PTNs. Less than 10% of that.
Right.
1,000 megawatts, 1,500 megawatts for the whole Lagos. So that's why you go everywhere. You see generators everywhere. Everybody is there, pumping their own, generating their own power.
Yeah.
And so doing this ban thing, equalizing the ban thing is good. But the issue is we don't have enough supply of electricity to make sure that happened. And talking about it in social media and what is just like you putting a rundown, it's okay. But there are a lot of things that have to be done to make sure that that works. They propose to have embedded electricity, like you come to an estate.
Yeah.
That estate will generate power for itself.
Yeah.
The industrial estates also will generate power for themselves. So a combination of things like solar systems, batteries, and so on and so forth will make sure that Lagos is powered up. That can work. But the other issues, the government cannot do all.
Right.
So they require private investment. And Nigerian private investors will know the issues, the consistency of government policies. So not every election cycle somebody comes in and reverses
the last
that, because these investments are long-term investments, so that's that. So we hope that, as I said, Lagos State we haven't done it all this while. If you get Lagos right, for example, about 7% of Nigeria is right. Yeah. Another commercial center of Nigeria also state can take that. Kano can take that, River State can take that, Delta can take that arrangement and make it work.
What about your cost-reflective tariffs? There's still some subsidies. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
That's very critical. That's very, very important for it to work. I mean, I didn't put it out there, but it's very important. You see, Nigerians have come to you with this.
In peace.
In peace. We love the good things.
Yes.
But we don't want to pay for them. Right. Power is expensive. Let's note that. Yeah. And substantially, the people who bear the brunt now is the band air people. So that's how it was designed. Yeah. So you require the cost-reflective tariff for this to work too. Because, a laborer is entitled to the wage. Yeah. So it costs money. So there's a lot of subsidy in power. And so if you want this power, let's pay for it. Yeah. That's what Nigerians don't like, that we'll pay for it. But I gave you that analogy a long time ago, that you see the cost of that. I remember one time that we were crossing over to United Kingdom, and we cooked a lot of food and preserved them. Those foods we were eating for more than 1 year. Because
the electricity,
spoil. But I told you here that if you cook your bono soup or your favorite oha soup or banga soup and keep it here and go for one of these your journeys,
it's gone.
By the time you come back, it becomes water.
Yeah.
So the cost of not having power is massive. But Rotus, in every bad thing, some people are profiting. A lot of people are profiting from the darkness in Nigeria.
Sadly, there's generator mafia or generator cabal.
Sadly, a massive industry, Rotus, has been created already. Yeah. In darkness. Yeah. A massive industry has been created in darkness. And so you have generator sellers, diesel suppliers, inverter dealers, mechanics, electricians, fuel stations, battery sellers, generator spare parts market.
A whole economy.
Millions of livelihoods now depend on power failure.
Yes.
So some electricity is not only technical, it's economical and political. Yeah. And some people quietly benefit from this darkness. And so, like I asked you the other day, I said, if your business is selling coffins or running a mortuary, what will your business plan look like?
Of course. You have to depend on people. Not being healthy.
Will you like the government to make sure power works?
Right. I understand what you're saying. Exactly. They want it to status quo.
The strong will, political will, is one of the key success factors to make sure things work. Because a lot of people who are doing these generator things are in bed with the government.
Of course.
They're the people in power see every day. There are people who donate to the political campaigns and so on and so forth. Yeah. And the money comes from selling generators.
Makes sense.
So out of darkness.
Yeah. So for them. Okay, Chika, one more question for you. This is Lagos, commercial capital. You've traveled all over the country. Can this be replicated in other states? Surely.
Luckily, we have some business-driven, you can count on your fingers, some business-driven governors. Yeah. A lot of governors are not my friends because I call them fact allocation sharers.
To Abuja.
They go to Abuja, collect money. When he asked our president that we got fuel subsidy, we're suffering for the high fuel prices, where is the money? Right. He says, go and ask the governors. Yet a lot of states now are still struggling to build the roads, pay pensioners, owing salaries. You see how we hear about workers going on strike, despite the amount of money going to the states. So, but we have some business-driven governors who can understand the importance of this, who love their citizens. Because I keep saying that governance is simple. If the people love their citizens. Because if you don't want a citizen to suffer, you don't want pretend babies to die in incubators.
Right.
You want high infant mortality in children, pregnant women not delivering, the sick in the surgery, people dying in the surgery because of light. Darkness in some places, armed robbers will strike because of light. If you're a governor, you should think of those things. I believe that you can count on your fingers some states where the governors are business-driven, love their citizens, and they can, copy this from Lagos State and make sure that it works.
Okay, we'll see. We'll continue to follow.
And Nigeria become better for that.
But overall,
it can't be 1 trillion economy
without power.
Without power on generators.
Yeah.
You can't. Not even apart my neighbor generator. It can't work.
Well said. All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, thank you so much for the information, and we appreciate your insights.